Hello, everybody, and welcome to The Pop. This is the first installment of the show that's going to bring us on a journey of this 2014 Mid-Florida Pop Warner season. My name is Brett Dunn. I'm here with my co-host, Jim McCrary. Jim, tell us how excited you are about this format and what we're going to do here in this 2014 Pop Warner season.
Well, I can't wait for the season to start. It's the best 6 months of the year. We've got a regular season coming up, kickoff classics this weekend, a full 8-game schedule, and the playoffs, a 13-week season, Mid-Florida football, 5 counties, Polk, Orange, Osceola, Seminole, Lake County, 15 matchups a week of youth football right here in Central Florida.
And we're going to highlight all 15 matchups each week, all 30 associations of Mid-Florida Pop Warner, but we're going to do something special and highlight the matchup of the week between 2 associations each week.
It's going to be huge. There are 2 divisions of instructional league, the Tiny Mite and Mighty Mite. What we're going to be focusing on is junior Pee-wee, Pee-wee, junior midget, and new for 2014, the unlimited teams in Mid-Florida competition.
We're going to talk a lot about the unlimited later on in the show. It's a new thing for this season. We're really pumped up about it. And the thing about this part of the year, like you said, the best 6 months of the year, it's football season. There's no greater football than Pop Warner football. There's no better youth program than Pop Warner football. This is the 85th season of National Pop Warner, and it's happening right here. No better place than Mid-Florida Pop Warner. We are the largest conference in the Southeast region, in the largest region in the country, and we're could not be more pumped up about what's happening in this season, and we're so excited, and we want to thank Bright House right off the bat for giving us this opportunity to cover this season the way that we're going to cover it. It's going to be great.
It is a great opportunity, and in addition to football, we've got a whole cheer angle here too that we're going to bring you from week to week. Not just the football players, but cheer competitions and 2 very exciting Mid-Florida competition and regional competition toward the end of the season.
And we're not going to forget about cheer. Cheer is going to be a big part of this show later on in the season. The season started a couple months ago with the certification weekend, and we caught up with the Mid-Florida Pop Warner team out there at the beautiful Omni Rosen Center on International Drive in Orlando. We talked to the president of Mid-Florida Pop Warner, Mr. Larry Sylvester. Here's what Larry had to say to us. I'm here with the president of Mid-Florida Pop Warner, Mr. Larry Sylvester. Larry, great to see you.
Okay, it's great to be here.
Would give us a little bit of overview in your history with Mid-Florida Pop Warner, where it started and how you got to where you are today.
Oh, okay. For me, it basically started like everyone else, came out to volunteer and help. I started out at one of the local associations with the Lyman Greyhound Group. Started out as just being a coach. A few years later, I kind of progressed up the chain there. I, did the player agent, basically the go-to person for the association. Later became the president of that association or commissioner rather, and kind of worked my way through that. I've been with Pop Warner now for a total of 28 years. It's been a great experience so far. And like any group, we look at the actual camaraderie that I've gotten between the people that have been involved.
You're a Mid-Florida Pop Warner Hall of Fame member, is that correct?
That is correct.
Congratulations on that. A lot of great work there. And I know that when you started out with the Mid-Florida board, you were heavily involved in scholastics, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. That was probably one of my best things that I can say coming from the association. I work with the scholars there. And, back then it was a little bit different than it is now. We've been able to make some great changes that have been part of the program so we can recognize more of the scholars.
Okay, and tell us how important this weekend is about, preparing for the season and what this weekend is doing to get not just the conference but all the association prepared for this upcoming season.
This is very important because we actually interact with all of the people that are on the front line, the coaches, the team parents, the administrators, letting them know the importance of their jobs and what they're going to be doing, and also tasking them on their expectations of the kids that they're bringing into their programs.
And is this weekend the preparation for it and the training that's happening, Is that what gives Pop Warner an edge over other youth football programs, just the preparation and the training that we do?
Absolutely, absolutely. We not only make a push for the coaches and parents to make sure that the kids have a good time, but we also as part of Pop Warner, we're like the oldest organization that's involved with the youth, and we bring the scholastic aspect of the program as well. One of our main things with Pop Warner that kind of makes us a little bit different from some of the other organizations is that we push safety. We push training and we push safety with the individuals.
And including in that safety is the new requirement through USA Football for the Heads Up program. Is that correct?
Absolutely. That's a new thing for us. We want to be part of the progression that's going on with America now. We started that a couple of years ago with actually some attention to the concussion issues and just the overall health of the individuals involved.
Let's talk a minute about the actual conference and how many associations are involved in Mid-Florida Pop Warner.
Mid-Florida has currently 30 associations. We're probably looking at between 10 and 12,000 participants that are coming in, that are playing. It's been great for us.
Where does that put us size-wise compared to the rest of the nation?
Size-wise, as far as the region, we are the largest conference in the Southeast region. I would think that we're probably in the top 10 in the nation. There are a few other leagues that are up in like the eastern region that are a little bit larger than we are, but we're doing well.
And lastly, what keeps you coming back every single year?
I think the main thing that keeps me involved is the interaction with a lot of the scholars, a lot of the athletes, especially with a lot of the volunteers. Seeing these young people progress through the years and eventually they end up in the high schools doing well, graduating and moving on to better their careers.
Outstanding. We really appreciate all the work that you've done. I know I've appreciated working with you all these years, and thank you for joining us today.
No, it's been great, and we appreciate everything that you bring to the table, and we look forward to a great season.
All right, thanks a lot.
Hi, I'm London.
And I'm Katie, and you're watching The Pop on Bright House Sports Network.
Welcome back, everybody, to The Pop. We're talking Mid-Florida Pop Warner football. Me and my co-host, Jim McCrary, talking about this coming season and what it takes to be a Pop Warner coach.
You would not believe the amount of volunteers it takes to run a team, an association, in this entire Mid-Florida juggernaut.
It is a juggernaut. It's huge.
It absolutely is.
And it is a process. You don't just wake up one day and say, hey, I want to coach Pop Warner football. There's a process. You have to go through some certifications. You've got to take classes. You've got to get educated. You've got to talk about things like concussions. You've got to talk about risk management things. There are plenty of things that you have to know as a coach. Hydration. And all of that comes together at the certification weekend, which happened a couple months ago. We caught up with a couple of the Mid-Florida Pop Warner representatives out there, notably Tammy King, the football coordinator, and one of the instructors, Coach Rodney Brown from the Pine Hills organization. I'm joined now by the Mid-Florida Pop Warner football coordinator, Miss Tammy King. Tammy, thank you for joining us. Tell us a little bit about you and how you got involved in Mid-Florida Pop Warner and what brought you to the position of football coordinator.
Okay. Well, my oldest son was in the middle of the street playing one day, and a coach rode by and saw him throwing balls and asked if he could play. We went over. I saw a lot of things that I didn't like, a lot of men yelling at the children and different things, so I decided to open my mouth. Once I opened my mouth, I became the football commissioner for Winter Park Tigers. And then I left there. Terry Chansey, who used to be with us, asked me to come to Mid-Florida. After that, I moved up from management team to football coordinator. Now I supervise all the football coaches in all 30 of our associations.
Outstanding. And tell us how important this weekend is in preparation for the season and what the training entails and how you become a football coach. How does that happen?
Okay. Basically, you've got to have a passion for children. For us, this weekend means everything because we teach them how to talk to children, how to coach. We teach them how to read plays, different things like that. But they have to take a 4-hour course with us here. Then they also take a USA program online that takes about 3 hours to do, that gets them certified for that.
Let's talk about the actual course, though, itself, developed by Southeast Region through Mid-Florida Pop Warner, and involves, what are the topics? What are the unit topics?
Our unit, we start off, our first unit teaches the overview of Pop Warner, where it started, how it came about. Our second unit teaches risk management, teaches the do's and don'ts, common sense things. Our third and fourth unit talks about the code of conduct. Pop Warner has major standards that you have to meet. There's no smoking, no drinking, no tobacco, no cursing. There's a consequence for anything that you do that's not good for the children.
And every single coach that coaches or that's listed on a roster has to go through that program?
They have to. They have to do that program that we do, and they also have to go online and take the USA certification.
That's outstanding. How do you feel about this upcoming season? Or you think we're going to have a good season? And are there any new developments on the football side?
Well, we're concerned about concussions, of course. We're trying to teach our coaches to look out for concussions. In Florida, of course, heat stroke. But I'm excited about the season. I think that Mid-Florida is probably the best association conference around. We've got the best out there. So I'm excited. I'm not looking for any problems, just to play football.
Outstanding. Thank you for joining us. I really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
All right, I'm here with Coach Rodney Brown. Rodney, what association are you with?
I'm with the Pine Hills Trojans.
How long have you been with Pine Hills?
I've been with Pine Hills about 15 years now. I've been the commissioner over there for 4 years now.
Okay, you're currently the commissioner. Tell me what you think Pop Warner football has done for the community in Pine Hills.
I think it has brought the community together as far as bringing the kids together, as far as the cheering and the football. The parents come out and support them on Saturdays. They come out to the practices and everything, and it brings them together. So I think as a community, it helps them get involved in the community because we go out and we do solicitations as far as the fundraisers and everything in the community. We try to get the community involved back in helping the kids and helping the parents and everything. So.
And why would you think Pop Warner? Why would you say Pop Warner is the best in youth football?
I think one thing that separates Pop Warner is the focus on that they do on scholastics. I think that is something that we need to stress with for our kids, as far as making sure that they have the scholastics environment to succeed in life. Because once you get into the, everybody saying the NFL is more than just playing football. We have lawyers, cheerleaders, we have doctors, all employed by the NFL, and all of them have that scholastics background. So I think that separates Pop Warner from a lot of associations.
It stresses the success not just on the field, but in the classroom, right?
Yes, sir, it does.
All right, Rodney, really appreciate it. Thanks for all the work you're doing in Pine Hills. Appreciate you joining us.
All right, thank you for your time. You're watching The Pop on Bright House Sports Network.
Welcome back, everybody. This is The Pop. We're so happy to be here on Bright House Network. I'm Brett Dunn. This is my co-host, Jim McCrary, and we're talking Mid-Florida Pop Warner. But, Jim, it's not just Pop Warner football. It's Pop Warner cheerleading also. Pop Warner cheerleading is awesome, and if you've never experienced a cheer competition, especially the Mid-Florida Pop Warner cheer competition, you do not know what you're missing.
We got to spend a few minutes with Donna Robarchek, the Mid-Florida cheer and dance coordinator, at the training session at the Rosen. The cheer side of this thing is so explosive. The girls get so much out of it. It's not just about cheering on the sidelines for Saturday. They're in very tough competition. They do 2 great training or competition sessions at Mid-Florida as well as the region, all in preparation to get to Disney. It's outstanding. Here's a few minutes with Donna. I'm joined now with Donna Robarchek, the Mid-Florida dance and cheer coordinator. Thanks for joining us, Donna.
Oh, you're welcome.
Tell us a little bit about how you got involved with Pop Warner and your position on the board here.
Well, it has been quite a few years. I had a daughter actually who was doing all-star cheerleading, and to be honest with you, she did get hurt a lot. So we did find Pop Warner, and they did have a lot of safety rules in place, so we decided to put her in there. So I started as a founding member with Olympia Titans now. And I have been in it ever since. My daughter is now married, and I'm still doing Mid-Florida.
What do you think about the scholastic achievements that the students have to go through, and how that interacts with the Pop Warner philosophy?
Well, I think it's excellent. There's a lot of youth programs out there that do not tie back into scholastics. So I think teaching the children at an early age that scholastics are just as important as their extracurricular activities is a great point. And we do give out a lot of scholarships.
The scholastics is a important part of the process for me too. I've had 2 daughters, one currently in the program and one that's graduated high school, worked her way up through Pop Warner cheer, and they both love it, and were involved in a national trip to Disney. And scholastics aside, what was the one opportunity that sticks out in your mind? What's the shining moment or the highlight of your coaching career?
For me personally, it's the bond that you do make with the children. When I started coaching, there were a lot of children that were latchkey children. They didn't know what direction they were going to, so I kind of adopted a lot of them. They were at my house for 3 years, and I'm still in contact with everyone that was on my team. And so I think for me, it's the passion of connecting with these children that may have gotten lost in life, not taken the right path, and were able to take the right path. I still hear to today, they cheered in high school, they cheered in college, but their best favorite days were cheering with Pop Warner.
That's wonderful. That's very nice. Is there anything else that you'd like to add to your career, or when you're finished with dance and cheer, do you have any further aspirations?
You know, I just really enjoy working with children. I like seeing their happy little faces, whether they win or lose. Last year, we adopted a new program on the cheer side, cheer and dance side, within Mid-Florida, and it's called the Sister Association. And it's basically allowing the associations to work with other associations. So if you're doing cheer, they have to get with that other association and do something fun throughout the year. We also adopted writing letters to the soldiers, so that's a huge part, is giving back to the community and letting the community know that we are there for your youth as we are there for the community. And we did a food drive last year for the cheer competition as well.
That's great work in the community. One last thing, a lot of people think that the cheerleaders don't get a lot of run during the season. They're just on the sidelines cheering for the players. They work very hard all season long. Tell us a little bit about the process for the girls in their competition on the Mid-Florida and the regional level.
Well, they start August with their practices, and they do practice for 3 months. The routine is 2.5 minutes at the league level, and then they go on to the regionals, which is another 2.5 minutes, and then the nationals is 2.5 minutes. So they do work for 3 months just to be on stage for 2.5 minutes. So it's very important. To me, all of the teams are winners, whether they make it to regionals or not. We do have another competition for the teams that don't make it to regionals, so they do have another chance to perform their small routine.
That's wonderful. The regional competition is quite engaging. The girls do try very hard. To work that hard for 2.5 minutes for one chance to advance is very difficult. The girls put out a lot of effort for that. The Mid-Florida board is definitely better with you on it, and I appreciate your time. Thank you, Donna.
Thank you.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Pop. We're talking Mid-Florida Pop Warner football, and we're talking about specifically the certification weekend. The season kind of kicks off about 2 months before the season starts, and we bring everybody together, Jim, for certification. Coaches get certified. There's an extensive training program for new and veteran coaches. Everybody goes through it, so everybody's on the same page. Everybody's got the same education. Everybody's equally prepared for the season.
One process, and that's one of the things that is elemental throughout Pop Warner. Everybody in every association across the country, every conference, every region, everybody's doing the same training, getting the same information, and it's really pertinent to what fuels the entire program.
Jim caught up with brand new coach Benji Schroyer for the Pop Warner program and veteran coach and commissioner for the Winter Park Tigers, Ken Hodges. Here's what they had to say.
I'm joined now by Ben Schroyer, one of the coaches down with the St. Cloud Bulldogs. How you doing today, Ben?
I'm doing great, thank you.
How'd you get involved with Pop Warner?
Well, my son's playing, and it drew me into it.
What level are you playing on?
I'll be coaching with the junior Pee Wee.
Beautiful. Is this your first time as a coach?
This is my first time as a coach.
What do you think about the Pop Warner system and how they go about attracting coaches and getting certified?
I think it's a really great program. I like the structure and the organization. I also like the focus on the scholastic part of it and the safety aspects and the fact that they just want the kids to have fun.
Beautiful. What area are you coaching? What positions?
I've been asked to look at helping with the defense.
Very good, very good. How's the season look so far on paper?
On paper, it looks great. Looks like a lot of fun.
Outstanding. Thank you, Ben, for joining us today, and have a good season.
Thank you, sir.
Good afternoon. I'm here with Ken Hodges, the commissioner of the Winter Park Pop Warner Association. Ken, how are you today?
I'm doing fine. How you doing?
Beautiful. It's a little warm down here, but we're getting through it. You've been a stalwart at the long as I can remember coaching in Pop Warner. You've been up there in Winter Park. How long have you been involved with that association?
It's my 21st year this year in Winter Park.
21 years. And how long have you been a commissioner there?
This will be my 10th year.
I know you've been there for a long time. I did a game back in 2005 or 2006. We played a matchup game, and you guys were our host up there. You've always been a quality commissioner. You got a great program up there. You've had a couple of kids go through the program too, haven't you?
Yes, I have. Had very many kids that went through the program.
Very nice, very nice. What does the being the commissioner of that association for such a long time, what does that mean for your community in Winter Park to have that stability, and what are you doing in a community as an association?
Well, what it means is that the kids, the families know that we're a stable organization, that many of the kids now that are having kids came through the program, and they come back, they know our program is still the same. And it does a lot for the community because they know that they can count on us. We do a lot of community involvement. We recently, about 3 years ago, helped renovate a community park by Winter Park High School, and we helped another organization, so we renovated a community park and everything. So that's what we've done in Winter Park.
Very nice, and it's good to have the. You mentioned the kids that played in the association now coming back with their kids. It's great to see that. I haven't been around long enough. The kids that I coached are a year or two out of high school now, but to see kids coming back in of kids that you coach, that's got to be a tremendous high for you.
Well, it is. I mean, last year our midgets won Mid-Florida, and two of the coaches that coached on the midget team played for our association, and I've coached with two kids the past couple of years that I personally coached when they were 10 and 11 years old. So it feels good that they want to come back and they say, Coach, I want to coach with you. Yeah.
That's really nice. You had a great midget team last year. What do you think about the unlimited opportunity across the board this year in Mid-Florida? How does that line up for your organization?
Well, I think it gives the kids opportunity. There was always one kid every year or so that couldn't fit into the Pop Warner matrix but wanted to play football, and it gives them an opportunity now to come and play. It gives them under structure and supervision. And also, I think it's a growth that a lot of kids now can say, hey, maybe I don't have to go to high school. I can play one more year because I'm a big enough kid, and I can play Pop Warner for another year instead of, going to 9th grade.
Very good. You mentioned a couple of different things about the highlights of your career. What is one moment that sticks out in your mind? What was the real bright spot that you can remember as a coach or as commissioner?
Back in 2005, I get a call, and it's a kid that's playing for the Florida Gators. He was on special teams for the Florida Gators, Brian Royal. He gets a call and says, Coach, I got 2 tickets for you to come see my last game, senior day. And I want you to come up there and watch me play. And that was a joy. I went up there and got to see him on the field, and I coached him when he was 10, 11, 12, 13 years old, and to see him there. For him to call me meant a real lot.
Wow, that's a special moment. Well, I appreciate your time, Ken. Thanks for joining us today. Good for it. Good luck and have a good season.
Thank you.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Pop. Jim, we're talking Pop Warner football. The season's about to start, and you can just picture it. Every Saturday out there on the football field starting early. I know I was always the first one there, last one to leave. It's a long day. It's worth every second of it. You bring the family out. Everybody gets involved. It's a great event, and it happens 15 different locations in Mid-Florida Pop Warner, and I just can't wait to get out there and get started with it. I know that we caught up with a bunch of coaches and commissioners at the certification weekend, and it was all about family to some people, and I know you talked to Vic Hernandez with the Harmony Longhorns about that very thing.
I did get to have a conversation with Vic. He's a longtime coach, and he's the new commissioner out there. I believe this will be his second season. And I tell you, if you have a great opportunity to get to Harmony, if you're on a road game, they have the best barbecue anywhere in Mid-Florida. Trust me, I've had it a few times. Here's a few minutes with Vic. I'm here today with Vic Hernandez. He's the commissioner of the Harmony Longhorns. How are you today, Vic?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Not too bad. Nice and warm out here in Orlando.
Oh yeah, humid.
And humid. How'd you get involved in Pop Warner? What brought you to this group?
Well, I'm originally from Chicago, and I've been involved in youth sports myself as a player, as a coach, as a referee, and when I moved to St. Cloud, I had to do something. My son was 5 years old, and he was involved. He wanted to do something, and he tried basketball, didn't like it. Baseball, said it was too boring. Sorry, baseball players. And football was what he liked. So that's what got me into it.
Very good. And you were a coach for a while, and now you are the commissioner. You've been there a couple of years now.
Yes, I've been with Harmony since day one when we branched off from St. Cloud. I've been there since day one. I was coaching. I've been fortunate to be the commissioner now for the second year in a row. And I mean, it's been exciting. It's been fun.
You're doing a good job down there. What do you think about the Division III? That was a new institution last year. Your team participated in Division III. What do you think about going into the second year of that operation?
I think going into the second year, it gives us more data, as far as because we brought the Division III so that we can see to help those divisions they're coming up. They're growing, especially the new organizations. They're growing. They're not as up there with the top teams, and no one wants to go out to the stands and watch their kids get demoralized by a more advanced or more complete team, a more stacked team. So that's one of the reasons why we decided to do the Division III. We are young. I mean, this will be our seventh year in the league, and we're still growing. And for us, it was an opportunity to give our kids, not only our kids, but our parents, to light that fire again, make the games more interesting, more competitive. You get a team that's averaging a 300, they have no business playing a team that's averaging 900. And that's what was happening. The Division III gave us a chance, a more level playing field. To put in, if I can put it in one word.
I agree, and it was a good opportunity. We thought you guys belonged down in Division III, give you better competitive advantage against your competition, and allowed you to compete more on a level playing field. I look forward to seeing you guys in Division III again this year. There's some talk of a regional playoff. I hope they go through with that. And the Longhorns are a very popular organization down there in Osceola County. What does it mean to be the head of that operation in Harmony? What does that mean to your community down there?
Well, we're very family oriented, out in Harmony. I mean, we're in the middle of nowhere. We got the school across the street from the community, and it's just another venue to bring us together. I mean, he talks about we're strong. We're well known for our cooking out there. You want to try some good Southern barbecue, you come to Harmony. And and that's the atmosphere we want. I mean, we want to promote positive, being that positive influence for our youth. I think now in the society we live in, we're all real busy, and we're all caught up in our work and and internet and stuff. I mean, we're forgetting about our kids, and the kids need us, not only as their parents, but they feed off one another. The parents feed off one another, and in turn it's contagious. And the kids see that. The kids are involved in their life. They're not just here's a PlayStation, and that the PlayStation take care of your kids.
Right.
You're actually becoming part of their life, and that's what we want to do. Promote that family atmosphere that we're kind of steering away from.
Yeah, that organization is a very good part of that whole community out there, and it's got good leadership at the top. I'm glad to have the opportunity to speak with you about it and continue doing good work down there.
Thank you.
Outstanding. Thanks for your time.
No problem.
Welcome back, everybody, to The Pop. I'm Brett Dunn, my co-host Jim McCrary. We're talking Mid-Florida Pop Warner football. And Jim, one of the things that people are concerned about, particularly parents, is the safety of the game. That is important to parents. Obviously, you want your kids to be safe. That's why the certification of coaches are so important. They understand the safety, they go through risk management training, and they know the particular things to look for to make sure that this game is safe.
Absolutely, and it is paramount for any youth sport, but especially football, to be concerned about safety. If we're taking the proper measures and training the coaches the proper techniques of how to play the game, we can avoid some of these problems. It's being taught, it's being officiated and trained on every level of Pop Warner, and we're really paying attention to that aspect of the game.
Yeah, our Pop crew caught up with Coach Meyer from the East Ridge Knights Pop Warner program and head coach of East Ridge High School, Coach Piera, whose 6-year-old son is playing Pop Warner football for the first time. And here's what they had to say about safety.
I'm here with Coach Myers. He has 8 children, 4 of them currently playing for the East Ridge Knights, 1 that's already gone through the system, and 2 that are waiting in the wings. With all of the media covering the safety issues, what do you as a parent and as a coach feel that the people out there need to know about the safety of youth football?
First of all, Pop Warner in general takes in the weight and age requirements of each kid. So your son's not going to play against a kid who is 50 pounds heavier than them. That was my major concern as a parent. Coach-wise, we try to match each kid up, size-wise during practice, correct teaching techniques. Makes a difference in all the world. Teaching a kid not to lead with his helmet, teaching him how to tackle, teaching him how to block correctly. Those are the issues that cause the big C word, the concussion. Is teaching them wrong. It's always a risk, playing football, but making it safer. That's our job. Concerned parent-wise, my wife didn't want my kids to play football at all until she came up and saw how we taught and what we do to take everything we can do to stop things from accidents from happening.
As a parent, do you have any stories of your kids playing youth football that would help them with life lessons as far as discipline and the academics and just teamwork that you can share with us?
Yeah, my oldest son who came through the program has had an issue in school with his grades the past 3 years. Football has been what's kept him going to school. I'm having to do progress reports and knowing that he has to have a certain GPA to be able to play the next season. That's huge. I know Coach Piera up here at the high school is having strict requirements for them to have progress reports each day. So football, team building is for, keeping each other together as a team. That's what matters. They're teaching them life lessons as far as how to deal with other people, how to deal with people maybe they don't like. It's huge. It's not just academically, but as far as just learn how to be an adult.
As a parent, what would you say to other parents who are considering putting their kids in football or maybe not putting their kids in football? What would you say to encourage parents to get involved in youth football?
Go help your kids.
I'm here with Coach Piera, first-year head coach at East Ridge High School, also a parent, a father whose child is starting at the tiny mite level. One of the things I wanted you to bring to the table here was your perspective on the safety issues. As a high school coach and as a father with your child playing, what can you tell us about the safety and the concerns that you may have as a parent and as a coach?
Well, I think that's a valid concern. Our number one priority is safety, and when you're looking through a coach's eyes, you really have to look at it as if you're a parent. And in my case, having a son who's about to start football, my major concerns are obviously head injuries and just how they're going to grow and how they're going to develop after those injuries, because they really, they're going to get banged up, they're going to make contact. But I think the main thing that has changed from the past is how kids train now, and the technology that we have, and the research that's been done. So anything from the tackling that's being taught now to the equipment that's being used, it's actually a very safe sport. And on the high school level, I know some of the things that we really stress are just preparation, and that's nutrition, that's weight training, all those things. And all those things put together help prevent injuries. So that's a big key for us.
There's several positive things that can come from a child starting in Pop Warner, from discipline to teamwork. Can you comment on all the positive things that football would bring to a young child? So if there's any parents out there that are contemplating whether or not to put their kids in football, could you tell us what are all the positive things that would come out of a kid playing in a Pop Warner Youth Football League?
Absolutely. The one thing that always came to mind before I was a father, parents would always tell me, he doesn't listen to me, but the second you tell him, then he goes and does it. And I told him the same thing. And now I'm going through that, where I could tell him all day, don't do this, don't do that, don't put that on that way, and it doesn't matter. But the second his coach tells him, then he listens to it and he does it. And some of the other positives that go along with that, with the discipline that you mentioned, it's just knowing when to speak, how to address adults, how to look people in the eye. Just everyday things that kids are going to need in the real world, that they're going to use in school. What is appropriate to say to an adult, how to respect other people. You have to do all that on the football field.
So your child is 6 years old. What are you hoping he'll get out of his first year of football?
No, I really hope that he gets that team concept, because being an only child and being that young, he really doesn't have a concept of that. Being in a classroom with school, everybody's in their own desk. Here, you're locked up with the guy beside you. You're having to protect the person next to you. They're having to protect you. So I'm hoping he really gets that team concept when he's out here and how to help other people.
With you as a first-year coach at East Ridge High School, it's great to see you out here for practice, having your kid involved in the Pop Warner program. How do you see the Pop Warner programs as feeders for the high school programs? What role does the Pop Warner program play for each high school?
Anytime you have a Pop Warner program around, they're seeing what you're doing with your program. One of the first things that I did when I got to East Ridge had never had Pop Warner practicing on their fields. Within the first 2 weeks of me getting the job, I wanted to establish that. 1 with the Pop Warner team and 2 with the school. So we had that. Now we've got about 200 kids out on our fields practicing. That's important to me, because now the community feels like East Ridge is home.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Pop. We're talking Pop Warner football here, and Jim and I were discussing this year's 2014 season, all the exciting things that are going to be taking place. And we're proud to have with us today our special guest, the Vice President of Mid-Florida Pop Warner, Mr. Gary Matrano. Gary, thanks for joining us today.
Thanks for having me.
It's glad to have you in the studio here. We've known each other for a long time. We've done a lot of work together in Mid-Florida Pop Warner. But tell some of the viewers at home where you started and a little bit of history about you and your time with Mid-Florida Pop Warner.
I actually started in 1990 with the South Orange Athletic Association, which plays out of Cypress Creek High School. I was down there for about, 4, 5, 6 years, and then got dragged up into the Mid-Florida Conference executive level, I guess you could say. And that's when Larry came on, and we had both started the Scholastic program that Mid-Florida currently has in place.
And tell us about that. That was the inception of the Scholastic program as we know it in Mid-Florida, right?
It was when a lot of changes took over. They used to, just have a couple of kids from each association that the associations picked. We changed it more on to the way National runs it, totally different paperwork, and we started honoring the top 35 in football, and I believe it was 18 in cheer, which has now been brought up to the top 35 in cheer. Going with the 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th grade and above, and the 8th grade and above. Now, since I believe it's been 2000, it's been about 14 years now that we've actually been awarding some scholarship money.
Biggest scholarship program in the Southeast region?
I would say so.
How much money did we give out last year?
I believe last year was right around the 14,000. We've been averaging about 14,000 a year, 15,000 a year. You know, some years better than others, you know, with the way the economy's going. I think right now to date, we've actually awarded right around $120,000 in scholarships. And I want to say we've paid out to higher educations, you know, the colleges, probably between 50 and 60,000 of that.
That's outstanding. And it just sends the message, the right message to these student athletes that what happens in the classroom is just as important as what happens on the football field.
I'd say it's probably more important only for the simple fact is without the grades, when you get into the high schools and stuff, you're not stepping on the field.
Absolutely.
So, you know, we do have our, you know, ways around it and all, but
well, there's no way around it.
Yeah, there's no way around it. There are some, you know, we don't let a kid sit because his grades are bad. We give them the opportunity to hit their teachers up each week.
We monitor their progress report. Yeah, absolutely.
And all, which enables them, if their grades are good enough and their teachers say it's okay, then they're eligible to play. And if they say no, then they're not. But once you hit the high school level, you drop below 2.0, you're not playing.
Yeah, and I love that part of it, the fact that we give them an opportunity to be a scholastic waiver and get the monitor, give us a chance to monitor their progress as they go, because football is a motivator, you know, to get those kids to start thinking about their grades.
Oh, definitely.
It's a perfect thing.
Definitely.
Let's talk about the football program, though. A lot of changes the last couple years, even going back to the inception of the Tiny Mite program, which Mid-Florida was the forefront for that. But last year we started Division III football, and bringing that third division for us, being that we're so big, 30 associations of Mid-Florida Pop Warner, the third division was important. I think it's worked out well. Walk us through a little bit about that decision making and how that came about.
Was that before or after they wanted to lynch me for even bringing up Division III?
Well,
we got the Division III program in. We had gotten a letter from National that they were starting to look into it and all. We saw some programs out there that were struggling, lower numbers, walking off the football field with their heads down. They were just weren't competitive enough. And when we brought it to Division III, we looked at everybody's overall record for a couple of years, the league's record, made some adjustments, and put teams in Division III that we felt would be more competitive with each other. And if last year was any example of it, I think we did the right thing when we came up with that. We were hoping and praying that all the commissioners from the leagues wouldn't have so much heartburn. And I think when the end of the year rolled around and now you're holding that Mid-Florida championship and you've got the opportunity to go on to a Southeast Region championship, that they were very happy with what happened last year.
Yeah, absolutely. And they were probably a little skeptical about it at first.
They were very skeptical at first.
But I think that everybody I've talked to was very happy with the way that it turned out. It gave those kids that would not have had an opportunity to prolong their season and participate in the playoffs that opportunity. And, we crowned actually three Southeast Region champions out of our Division III.
Yes, we did.
Yeah, great program.
I don't think we did any of that in Division II or Division I.
We did not. That's true. Now, talking about last year's Division III, new development for this season. This is how progressive Mid-Florida Pop Warner is. We're changing things, improving things every year. This year, the implementation of the unlimited division, something we've never had before, where it goes conference-wide, unlimited division football. Tell me a little bit about that process.
Well, last year we had some associations struggling with some of their numbers. We did have at least 2 associations last year that did not have midget teams. We kind of put a proposal out in front of the commissioners board. We did it for 3 straight months. You have to do it. Told everybody to go back, discuss with their boards, what we were looking to maybe try and change. And the league came back, and then I believe it was December's meeting, turned around and voted to do away with the midget division and go to the unlimited.
And I was at that meeting. I remember a couple of the comments from some of the commissioners. A lot of people were really excited about giving kids that didn't normally have that opportunity, the opportunity to play football before they go to high school. Yeah,
we've had a lot of kids that we've turned away throughout the years that have had to go to another program that's not as structured as Pop Warner and all. And some of them just went on from there to try and play high school ball. And we didn't do the kids any, justice by them stepping on the field at 9th grade and never playing a down of football before, unless they were playing, touch football with their buddies, but never having contact at all. And now they've got that opportunity before they step on the high school field.
Yeah, I couldn't be more excited to see what that brand of Pop Warner football is going to look like this season on the field with the unlimited division, no restrictions on the weights, and I'm sure some of the smaller running back athletes are going to be pretty happy about having those big horses in front of them this season.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, when I was in high school, if I missed a block when I was playing a lineman, boy, that running back was all over me. So it's going to be a little bit of a difference this year when it comes to that, and we'll just have to wait and see how it goes.
We're so excited about it. Gary, thank you for joining us. This has been great having you here, and we are looking forward to talking to you later on in the season.
I appreciate
that. Does it for us for the first installment of the Pop right here on Bright House Network. We want to thank Bright House for letting us do this and highlighting the Pop Warner season this season for Mid-Florida Pop Warner. Check us out next week. We're going to be talking about the Kickoff Classic that's happening this coming Saturday. Come back with us next week right here on the Pop. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Pop. This is the first installment of the show that's going to bring us on a journey of this 2014 Mid-Florida Pop Warner season. My name is Brett Dunn. I'm here with my co-host Jim McCrary. Jim, tell us how excited you are about this format and what we're going to do here in this 2014 Pop Warner season.
Well, I can't wait for the season to start. It's the best 6 months of the year. We've got a regular season coming up, Kickoff Classics this weekend, a full 8-game schedule, and the playoffs, a 13-week season, Mid-Florida football, 5 counties, Polk, Orange, Osceola, Seminole, Lake County, 15 matchups a week of youth football right here in Central Florida.
And we're going to highlight all 15 matchups each week, all 30 associations of Mid-Florida Pop Warner, but we're going to do something special and highlight the matchup of the week between 2 associations each week.
It's going to be huge. There are 2 divisions of instructional league, the Tiny Mite and Mighty Mite. What we're going to be focusing on is junior Pee-wee, Pee-wee, junior midget, and new for 2014, the unlimited teams in Mid-Florida competition.
We're going to talk a lot about the unlimited later on in the show. It's a new thing for this season. We're really pumped up about it. And the thing about this part of the year, like you said, the best 6 months of the year, it's football season. There's no greater football than Pop Warner football. There's no better youth program than Pop Warner football. This is the 85th season of National Pop Warner, and it's happening right here. No better place than Mid-Florida Pop Warner. We are the largest conference in the Southeast region, in the largest region in the country, and we're could not be more pumped up about what's happening in this season, and we're so excited, and we want to thank Bright House right off the bat for giving us this opportunity to cover this season the way that we're going to cover it. It's going to be great.
It is a great opportunity, and in addition to football, we've got a whole cheer angle here too that we're going to bring you from week to week. Not just the football players, but cheer competitions and 2 very exciting Mid-Florida competition and regional competition toward the end of the season.
And we're not going to forget about cheer. Cheer is going to be a big part of this show later on in the season. The season started a couple months ago with the certification weekend, and we caught up with the Mid-Florida Pop Warner team out there at the beautiful Omni Rosen Center on International Drive in Orlando. We talked to the president of Mid-Florida Pop Warner, Mr. Larry Sylvester. Here's what Larry had to say to us.